5 o'clock on this Friday evening, February 19th, 2021. And direct mod, this is Monoton. This will be the channel 5 o'clock news for our Friday evening, February 19th, 2021. It's 5 o'clock on this Friday evening, and the mountain temperature standing at 33 degrees. Top stories on the Peter Channel 5 o'clock news for our Friday evening is why wind turbines in New York keep working in bitter cold weather, unlike the ones in Texas. President Biden says the U.S. and Europe must push back against China's economic abuses and coercion. GOP Representative Lee Zeldin urged the New York governor amid Cuomo nursing home controversy. 6 more alleged members of Oath Keepers militia indicted. Biden team finds promises hard to make, let alone keep. Biden the critics of $1.9 trillion relief fund. What would they have me cut? U.S. formally rejoins Paris Climate Accord as Biden seeks to reverse Trump energy policies. Biden is sending help to Texas with aid from FEMA during the winter storm. Biden administration admits first group of migrants forced to stay in New Mexico under Trump-era policy. California school board members got disparaging parents on accidental Zoom broadcast. COVID vaccines to G7 increased support for COVAX scheme. 2-dose Pfizer vaccine here to stay, despite new setting storm slow vaccine rollout in California reopen schools. Biden rivenates Trump on Iran, ready for talks of nuke deal. UN expert proof of life for missing Princess Latifah and South Africa advisors back Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine after study. Governor Baker urges boss air business to think about the future of workers. Coronavirus pandemic ends. Pfizer, Moderna COVID-19 vaccine showed no safety concerns during the first month of rollout, CDC said. UK Supreme Court says Uber drivers are not independent contractors. Bitcoin market value tops $1 trillion as rally continues. The big tech is strong in the west of the Silicon Valley. Looking at stocks now, up 98 cents to 31,494.32. SP 509, 7.26 to 3906.71. And Nasdaq up, not 11 at 13,874.46. The United Nations thus far proof that the daughter of the Dubai ruler is alive and safe less than a week after she posted a video message saying she was being held hostage by her family. Nigerian authorities negotiate with school kidnappers. South Korea declares as of avian influenza goers millions of poultry called. Sincere apology from Japan required on cup of women, Moon said. Attorney Generals from several states have called upon President Biden and Congress on Friday to cancel up to $50,000 in the federal student loan debt borrower and issue that the new administration is yet to embrace. Biden and G7 leaders, America is back, and Pfizer asked FDA to store approval for store COVID-19 vaccine at warmer temperatures. Idaho police say they identified a suspect in a shooting and incident probe ongoing. Workmate gets on 2 prominent sites along Route 1 in North Attleboro. In Mansfield, a squirrel knocked out power Friday morning at West Mansfield when it touched electrical lines at the Gilbert Street substation. Top man dies of injuries from crash in the sea. Braintree Superintendent gets Winchester job. And Rockland asks to support low-income senior housing. Pfizer, Moderna, COVID-19 vaccine showed no safety concerns during the first month of rollout, CDC said. UK's Florida women aged 34 and 44 dress up as grandmothers to get COVID vaccine early. People who have had COVID should get single vaccine doses, study suggests. And Michigan coronavirus cases up to 579,284 and told right now at 15,296. NASA's Perseverance rover sends sneak peek of Mars landing. NASA's Mars exploration program. Earth's magnetic field reveals so 42,000 years ago triggered by a global environmental crisis. Scientists revisit the first black hole they ever discovered and realize it's bigger than ever thought. Scientists find a way to communicate with people who are asleep and dreaming. Okay, let's take a look at the sports. Carson Wentz, Wade Johnson, and Colts teammates Kenny Moore, Julian Blackman, and aftermath of Eagle trade. And Kyrie Irving talks trash about after LeBron James misses and takes a technical free throw. And Deshaun Jackson singles him in a really spot for the Eagles tonight. Boston Celtics taking on Atlanta Hawks. Game time is 7:30. Peter Chelnuside, 5:06. It's time now for a traffic and transit check. Beep on the MBTA. Green Line service suspended between Government Center and Arlington while we respond to a power problem at Park Street. Please use the orange line for the alternate downtown service. '84 eastbound side, Little Soda, Waterbury, Connecticut, Merritt Parkway, Route 9 eastbound, Little Soda, Route 91, and Route 10, Connecticut. 8 on the southbound side, Sepulchre between Torrance and Waterbury, Connecticut, and 146 Little Soda, North Smithfield area, and 95, both ends back between 128 Canton and Noun to Foxborough, 128 slow between Canton and Noun to Braintree Split, and 7 Expressway slow between Braintree Split down to downtown Boston, and 93 and 95, so both ends in downtown Boston, 128 southbound side, slow between Peabody all the way down to Danvers, and 89 southbound side, Little Soda between Henniker and Concord, and Route 2 eastbound side, Little Soda between F1 and Fitchburg, and 93 on the northbound side, Little Soda between Durham and down to Tilton, and 89, and Everett Turback, Little Soda between Wakefield and down to Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and Maine Turback, so between Biddeford and down to Wyndham, Maine, and Vermont Highways are looking good. Okay, let's take a look at the forecast. It goes okay. Shifting gears to the weather at 5:07, and night snow will come to end this evening and overnight as dry weather. Seasonal temperatures are expected for this weekend. However, a few snow showers are possible Saturday morning across the Cape and the next weather system with a wind and chance of rain. And so on Monday, mainly dry and mild weather with normal temperatures expected for a mid-weekend. Bend and generally light snow continue across much of the region. The back edge of the precipitation is out across the Hudson Valley and working its way east. All the models are painted pretty from a much a similar picture that basically the precipitation will end from the west to east during the evening and overnight, and roughly 9 p.m. across the Connecticut River Valley, 10 p.m., 1 a.m. in central Massachusetts and Rhode Island, and less prestige across eastern Massachusetts between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. give and take, and this will begin to be no order 1 and 2 inches across eastern areas and less than 1 inch elsewhere. Looking at the model signs and across sections, there really isn't much happening in the Denver coast zones. We won't be seeing any bursts of heavy and fast including snow. In fact, across western areas, especially Connecticut, it looks like we will lose the ability for the ice nucleation to occur in class, so a bit of drizzle, freezer, drizzle, snizzle will occur right at the end of the precipitation. Won't be able to be concerned about from a perspective of icy roads, just more than a bit of interest. And with all that said, after coordinating to the neighboring NWS office, we will hold our winter weather advisories by the time being, but it's possible the whale will be taken down much later than prior to 7 p.m., exception being in the eastern Massachusetts where the advisory goes to the overnight hours, given a later end to the snow as currently forecast. It seems prudent to keep that up at least a little later in the evening. However, we're expecting the much of the way traveling back, that we will continue to have a relatively moist northeast flow off the ocean, especially across eastern sections as we've seen them. They have some level ocean snow showers that are moving westward. Expect this to continue throughout the night, so that even after the main area in the middle of moisture and the search of precipitation moves away, we will still have a few light portion of snow showers out there. However, by late tonight conditions will not be supportive. Our low-level inversion will be developing, and there won't be much moisture in 10 Celsius range below. So, however, precipitation that falls will be very light temperatures for some of this. Very small snizzle snow grains and keep it a blend of guidance, but overnight temperatures generally 26, but around 30 across the Cape Islands. And we're on the winter weather advisory until 7 p.m. Snow additional circulation 1 inch possible until 7 p.m. this evening. Portions of Northern Connecticut, central and eastern, southeastern, and western Massachusetts, and northern and southern Rhode Island until 7 p.m. this evening, and plan on slippery road conditions. This house is conditions could affect the evening commute. And look at the forecast goes like this. Snow likely May after being before 10 p.m. tonight. Cloud sky low 26 degrees. Northeast spot 6 mile an hour coming to northwest of the night. Chest page is 30%. New precipitation between and half an inch possible for Saturday. Will be a slight chance of snow showers before 8 a.m. Clouds can mid morning and mostly south about 35. Low 80 degrees north spot 5 9 mile an hour. Chest page 27 for Sunday. Sun's coming 33 and a low 15 degrees. North about 69 mile an hour for Monday. Rain likely me after 4 p.m. Clouds got high about 40 and a low 29 degrees. Let's up wind increase at a 9 to 14 mile an hour and morning just pitches 6% for Tuesday. Both sides for 43 and a low 31 degrees. West about 69 mile an hour for Wednesday. Most of the south got 46 to low 29 degrees. West about 7 to 13 mile an hour because 23 mile an hour for Thursday. Most of the clouds about 43 and a low 24 degrees. West about 3 to 8 mile an hour for Friday. Most of the south with 35 degrees. So right now, not in it. Likes doing 33 degrees. And before we leave, this just into our newsroom. 1,679 confirmed COVID cases on Friday, bringing in statewide total 536 since the start of the pandemic and 36 COVID deaths in Massachusetts and estimated 37,210 cases are active across Massachusetts reported. Reports that 99 patients with confirmed coronavirus cases were hospitalized in Massachusetts, which 2 of them to be in ICU. And that's going to be with Peter Channel 5 o'clock news for Friday, February 19th, 2021. I'm Peter J. Williams. Hope you have a good evening. Bye day. Stay safe, be positive, be well. See you at 10 o'clock for Atlanta and Portland. We have a good evening.